Here's some more spring flowers. So
Yes,
what do you got for
today
us
I've got some more
today?
spring flowers. This time of year, we go out to our local garden center or even the grocery store, and what do you see? It's potted bulbs.
Exactly.
So impulsively, we buy them and bring them home, and then what do you do with it? So
Exactly. Yeah.
today, I want to just make a quick display on how we can display our bulbs, and then we can just change the container out later in the season.
I love that you've got mulch in there. And what a great idea to make sort of a rotating container.
Yes, and that way, when you have bulbs, because the bulbs are going to grow, they're going to flower, and then what happens? The foliage starts looking a little shabby.
Hmm.
So this way, you can just take the whole entire potted bulb and move it out of the container, put it away for later, and then plant it directly into your garden.
Truly, yes.
So today, I've got this big, fairly big container, and what I've done is filled it with wood chips. You
Hmm.
can use mulch or whatever you have on hand. You don't
Okay.
have to use potting soil, but I have a pile of wood chips that I use in the garden, so today I'm going to just use that.
Certainly. What would
And
you like to start with?
let's start with the daffodil.
Okay. And I want
So,
people to notice what he's doing.
yes,
Yes.
so what I'm doing is leaving everything in the container and just move the mulch out of the way, and we can set the pot in. Try to get it in just below the lip of your container. And then you can just push the soil back into place.
Hmm.
And can I have the tulips?
Certainly.
Another big pot,
You know,
starting with,
I was going to
sorry.
say this is how a lot of public gardens put
Yeah,
together instant color for an event or
yes,
something.
it's a nice way to make a quick display that is changeable
Hmm.
quickly. So we're setting this in, make sure it's snug and at least somewhat under the lip of the pot. And I'm going to grab hyacinth here.
My favorite. I love the
Again,
fragrance of hyacinths.
I do too. And just a ride with it in the car, you just can't deny the smell of this. So
Yes.
we get that set in. We're going to use a different color here.
And it's smart to have blooms at different levels, we'll call them. These are buds so that this container will bloom a little bit longer.
Exactly. And that's another point to make too. As you're going to buy your containers and you see the bulbs, make sure that you look and see if they still have some unopened blooms. I know you see the color and you get excited,
Yeah,
but then the flower only going to last for so long.
truly, truly. Buying in bud is best. So,
So get this in, and I'm going to save a little space for a decorative element because I
yeah.
like woodland gardens.
Hmm.
So I am going to
Throw in a
just
little piece of driftwood. What a great accent. And it's a nice contrast, and it actually personalizes your container.
exactly. So just do whatever you have use whatever you have on hand
Hmm.
and to your style.
Yeah.
So be creative.
Yes. Yes.
And I forgot, actually, I think that's going to about fill it.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add a layer of sphagnum moss
Hmm. Kind of
just
finish
to
it off.
just to finish it off. And you can use just the sphagnum moss to finish off the tops just so you're not looking at the bare soil and the edge of the potted containers. And of course, I'm making a mess,
That's okay. You're just hiding your
but
mechanics, they
yeah.
call it, you know?
So you don't want to see the edge of the pot. So we will go
No.
ahead and just cover this up so that we can be able to hide this container.
Hmm.
And then what I'd like to use, just in different areas, again, it's
Uh-huh.
to my style. I like woodland gardens, and you
Right.
can't have woodland gardens without moss.
Of course not. Yeah.
So I've got some sheet moss that you can
Okay.
use. I like using the preserved natural sheet moss. I
Hmm.
don't like the moss that is dyed.
Yes.
So
Yes.
just keep in mind if you go out and buy that, just look for a live sheet moss.
The other thing is too, while you're covering up these pots,
Hmm.
mentally take a picture as to where they are, because when you water this container, you're going to be watering at the base of the plants.
Exactly.
This is not a potted container. This is one that is just have pots in it. So you've got to get the pots with the water.
Exactly.
And
And it's easy to do.
it is easy. Just take a mental picture. And the other thing is, when they're through blooming, I put them in my garden.
Hmm.
You know, if the weather is conducive, it's not too cold. These are spring flowers. They can take colder weather.
Yes.
They can go down into the mid-20s. And so I put them out into my garden. And
And that's a nice way the growers have already gave you a jump start on
yes, and they'll
your
catch the
season for
cycle
next
next
year.
year. Yep, they'll catch it for next year.
And even if you can think ahead of time, you can even pot up your own bulbs in the fall when you start doing that, and you can still do this.
Yes, some of them, of course, require refrigeration
Yes.
and to be able to get that cold period so that they'll bloom properly. So yeah, it's smart to look at the cultivars to make sure that you're choosing one that can easily be forced with refrigeration.
So
So
now I'm just adding in some accents of moss.
oh,
I really like this sheet moss, especially if you find the ones that come in big sheets.
mm-hmm. We're
So,
sliding down on time, my friend.
all right, I will speed this up. We will get all of these tucked in,
And
and then I think this is going to be about done.
that looks absolutely perfect and lovely too.
Thank you so much. This is an easy container for people to be able to change out seasonally, and then you have your bulbs already started that you can just plant in your garden when it is time after the foliage is starting to die out, and you don't have to keep this in this display. You can move the pots along and then plant it directly out into your garden.
I think it's a great idea, and I thank you so much for sharing. This is something many people can do and very easily, so thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.